Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we have a lot of gaming related news to cover, so let's not waste any time and jump right into it. Beginning with this article right here from PC Gamer. This is definitely one of the best articles I've seen in quite some time, a possible Pulitzer Prize winner right here. So obviously it's been a rough couple of years for games journalism at large. There's been a lot of layoffs, so people over at PC Gamer, for example, one employee now has to pick up the slack of 3 employees due to all these layoffs, and it's reflected in their articles because normally they're bad, but these ones are on another level. So here is the headline: Avowed's best enjoyed if you ignore the frame rate. Maybe we should do this more often. Ah yes, an apologist for an overpriced game that is not functioning properly. Thank you, PC Gamer. At this point, just take PC out of your name, and also while you're at it, take gamer out of your name as well, because this is absolutely ridiculous. Imagine defending Avowed, or any game for that matter, for not functioning properly, for screwing up with their frame rate, and it still costs money. People are paying for a broken product. In this case, with the early access, paying $90 for Avowed, and then you have PC Gamer being their apologist and excusing the bad frame rates. That is absolutely ridiculous. Now, here's some of the reasoning they provided in this article. So they said there's a big difference between the performance of hardware and that of a game. Of course, it's not like one can go, oh, the CPU feels like it's running really fast. It either is or isn't, and the only way to be certain is to run tests and get numbers. For games, it's different unless it's a competitive one, especially if it's going to potentially be a source of income for you. But even then, surely it doesn't matter how fast it's running as long as it feels okay and doesn't prevent you from achieving your desired goals. Yes? No is the response that everyone is collectively making in response to this article that, again, is just peak games journalism in the year 2025. Now let's move on to the next part of this video. We're going to be talking about Civilization 7. So this is another example of a franchise that is a goldmine, right? How can you screw this up? Well, they're finding a way with Civ 7. This was a franchise that pretty much had it made, right? Pretty much anything they put out will do really, really well. And even with the complications involving Civ 7, they're still doing pretty well, but the numbers here are very interesting. So 82,000 in-game players. It's been about a week since this dropped, so that number is okay, I guess. It's probably a little disappointing for such a big franchise like this, but what's really telling is the review rating here. 51%. That is shockingly low for a game like this, and people are attributing that to a lot of things that really are fundamental about Civ games. Apparently with Civ 7, they changed how the story progresses and how the civilizations work. Apparently you have to change civilizations multiple times throughout the story and how everything unfolds, and it's very confusing, and it's just a weird change in their strategy, and a lot of people really don't like it. But Civ 7 and their team at Firaxis here has understood how disappointed people are right out of the gate, and they've been playing damage control pretty much ever since, even revealing that they're going to give free updates for people who purchase this game that normally would have been paywall through a DLC or something like that. So they're aware of what's going on. Now, the other thing that's been going on, this happened a couple days ago. I saw this all fall apart in real time. They made this tweet from their Civ game account saying, "Thank you, Civ fans." They deleted this because people were clowning on this video, but luckily people like Smash JT have a downloaded version of this. So let's watch this clip and why people were making fun of it so hard.
Thank you.
Thank you, Civ fans.
Thank you, Civ fans. Y'all are the best fans in gaming.
Thank you, Civ fans. You're the best.
Thank you, Civ fans. You are the best fans in gaming. Thank you so much.
Hey, Civ fans. Big thank you from the audio team.
Thank you, Civ fans, for continuing to be the best fans in gaming, and we really hope you continue to take one more turn.
Thank you for playing Civilization 7.
Thank you, Civ fans.
Thank you.
Thank you, Civ fans. The launch of Civ 7 is here. We absolutely cannot wait for you to experience the game yourselves. So enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Civ fans.
Yeah.
Thank you, Civ fans.
This lost at the ballot box. That was my quote before, of course, they deleted their tweets because of the amount of people ridiculing this whole thing. But yeah, you start looking around and doesn't it all just add up as to why this franchise has gone the direction that it has, and I think it kind of speaks for itself, right? But things are getting even worse for Civ 7 and Civ 7 fans as well. So one of the, I guess, controversial elements of Civ 7 was that Harriet Tubman was a playable leader in that game, which had a lot of people confused because it seems like a role much larger than you would expect for her. You can like that, dislike that, whatever, but a lot of people were rubbed the wrong way by that, so people were making mods to try to circumvent this and to change it however they felt fit. And apparently, if you do this, you get banned, right? So people are getting banned for this racist mod, right? So obviously they're quite upset about this. And yeah, you can see here Civ 7 Steam forum moderators accused and banned a player for racism and discriminatory content after he criticized the decision to make Harriet Tubman a leader in the game. So not only are they banning people who make mods, they're banning people who are even criticizing this decision, which is absolutely insane and really tells you the state of really any conversation involving gaming. If you dare have the wrong think or question something, you're going to get banned. And it's pretty much as simple as that. Now let's move on to PlayStation here. Sony coming out with an absolute banger. So they released basically a code of conduct yesterday, and people, they're not responding very well to it, and that's not too surprising. So it says this: everyone's a noob at gaming when they start. Your kindness can help improve the experience for those new to the gaming community. Let's keep PlayStation the best place to play by following our code of conduct. Every time a company comes out with a code of conduct for playing video games, it is always going to be received negatively. I don't understand why anyone would do this. If you want to have a code of conduct, just put it on your website because you have to, or you feel like you have to, and just leave it at that. You don't have to share this publicly. It's just going to backfire. And you can read their rules here. That's just part of the code of conduct, beginning with be inclusive and be tolerant and be respectful. So the be inclusive part says PlayStation Network is for everyone, regardless of gender identity, sexual orientation, race, ethnicity, nationality, color, immigration status, social and economic class, educational level, shape and size, family status, political belief, and mental and physical ability, or any other attribute that people use to label others or divide communities. Now, of course, they say acceptance for everyone, but I think we know kind of what they're trying to drive at here and who's actually going to be protected by codes of conduct like this. But people weren't having this. They were trashing this code of conduct, basically saying that PlayStation and Sony need to be sentenced to a couple of hours in a Call of Duty lobby from back a decade ago. But yeah, this didn't go over well, and honestly, a lot of things aren't going very well over at Sony. Speaking of which, you guys remember Fairgames? We've talked about Fairgames a couple of times. This is another attempt at a live service game here that is really just modern audience incarnate. People absolutely hate this game, and all of the reveal trailers for it, they get dislike bombs into oblivion because this game is just so, again, modern audience. All the flashy colors, the girl bossing characters, the eat the rich mentality of this game. That's kind of like the whole backbone of it, which is hilarious coming from Sony, of all people, trying to do a how do you do, fellow kids type moment with this plot line. But yeah, turns out there's actually some more issues going on because Sony has announced that the PS5 live service title Fairgames has reportedly slipped. And it sounds like now they're targeting a release next year. So even this dumpster fire is being plagued by delays that we're seeing across the industry. And unfortunately for Fairgames, I don't think any delay will help this game out. I don't think anything can save this slow-moving car crash that is Fairgames. At this point, Sony should just shut it down. Just shut it down, get the tax write-off, and save yourself more money being wasted and more bad PR for your company, because this game is not going to do well. I don't say that unless I really mean it. This game is not going to do well. Will it be a Concord level failure? I don't think so, but clearly there's a very big budget for this game and little to no interest. It's not like with Veilguard or something like that, where yes, there's a lot of people who think it's garbage, but there's still a pretty good holdout of people who are always interested in the game. Nobody is interested in Fairgames. Not a single person on the internet really cares about this, and it's going to crash and burn. Like I said, a delay will not fix this. And again, it's another poor attempt at a live service game. Live service games are not an inherent failure, by the way. We're going to talk about some more live service games in just a second, but I say this over and over again. The reason people think live service games are an automatic failure is because they associate it with games like Concord or Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, all these mega flops, and they don't pay attention to the ones that do really good. It kind of clouds the vision, right? You can make a live service game good, but unfortunately a lot of the teams who are making them are putting out a bad product and creating this pattern recognition with live service games where people just think live service games in general are bad. But let's move on to another pretty funny update here. So Overwatch is doing their best, okay? Overwatch 2 has released a new hero, Freya. Now, you know something is going on over at Blizzard when they're releasing a new character like this. Like, I'm awaiting a new round of allegations or something like that. For them to release what I call an attractive white character in Overwatch 2, you know they're sweating right now. You know they are really feeling the heat. And where are they feeling this heat from? Well, of course, it's from Marvel Rivals. Okay, they're getting absolutely curb stomped by Marvel Rivals, and it's not even close. It might actually be the Overwatch 2 killer, which honestly, it's like finishing off a near corpse at this point. It's not too hard to do, but Marvel Rivals has really put this game into the dirt, and seeing this character, a character like this being released at this given time shows just how desperate they are. I mean, just look at the numbers. 26,000 in-game players right now, but we looked at review ratings earlier. This one always kills me. 22%. 22% on this game. That is absolutely mind-boggling, and they are struggling really hard right now. I mean, just look at the numbers, right, for each season, and right now they're at their lowest point ever, and basically holding on for dear life at this point. And you compare that to Marvel Rivals, which right now has 300,000 in-game players, about 15 times that of Overwatch 2, and that is pretty impressive. I mean, we're about 2 or 3 months into the release of this game, and it's still pushing ahead very strong. There's a lot of things to look forward to. Marvel Rivals is showing that a live service game can be good. It's not an inherently bad genre of video games, because look what we're seeing here. Marvel Rivals is doing great, and people are completely abandoning games like Overwatch for Marvel Rivals, and I think it makes a lot of sense, and I think it's a good thing to reject the slop that we're seeing with Overwatch and accepting something that is just a little bit better, like Marvel Rivals. So, the final piece of this video today is the most surprising and also unsurprising news you'll ever see. So, as reported, GTA 6's PC release date is early 2026, Corsair Gaming believes. So that is not great. So their publisher, Take-Two, recently hinted at a PC release after consoles. And you can see down here, their parent company was speaking on its latest financial results, and they had this to say: yeah, GTA 6 is probably the one everyone is talking about, and we'll get a glimpse of that, I think, later on in the year for console. My understanding now is it's going to come out in the fall for console, and then early 2026 for PC, which is an interesting thing. I wonder if people enjoy having a later PC release. I don't really know why you would have something shortly after, unless it's literally just because they're not prepared to have it done. But seeing this delay on the PC release also calls into question whether or not they're going to deliver on that late 2025 release. They said it's going to be 2025 on the console, so I don't know. At this point, I don't really have any confidence this game is going to deliver when it's been told it's going to be delivered. But the thing that I really want to draw attention to again is the fact that I am very convinced this game is going to be marketed for $100. And I'm going to greatly worry about how that's going to have a domino effect across the industry, because when they do it, and I think they're going to do it, when they make this game $100, because they know people are going to buy it no matter what, there's going to be a trickle-down effect in the industry where every single AAA publisher is going to say, yup, we're worth that too. we're going to raise our standard price to $100. And then gamers are going to get pissed because those games are not like GTA 6, which is arguably the most anticipated release of all time. And they're going to say, I'm not buying that. I'm not spending $100. And basically, you're spitting in the face of the customer by doing so. And there's going to be a big crash in the industry. If that happens, I think there's going to be some big issues. But anyways, that is the latest news involving GTA 6. And that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.